We had thoroughly enjoyed our time at the Giant's Causeway, and on our way down to Belfast, we had one more day to spend, making our way across the Giant's Causeway Coastal Route. As we headed east across the route, there were 4 stops we planned to make along the way. The first was Dunseverick Castle, located not far from the Giant's Causeway. The second was White Park Bay Beach. The third, Larrybane Quarry, located near Carrick-a-Reid Bridge, and the fourth was Fairhead, located near the northeastern corner of Northern Ireland. Our first stop on the Causeway Coastal Route was Dunseverick Castle. This spot is easily accessible as it's located right next to the road. If you continue walking to the left, it's possible to walk along the cliff and head towards the Giant's Causeway. Apparently it's a beautiful cliff walk. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time to do it as we were on our way to Belfast on the day. Also, keep in mind that you can't actually reach the Giant's Causeway because of the rock slides, but apparently it's a beautiful walk nonetheless. A few months after we came back from our Ireland trip, we were watching a movie and we saw a very familiar location in the movie. It was a place we had visited in Northern Ireland not long ago.
They'll want to know how we found our heroes, and together fought back.
Dunseverick Castle is a well-known and historically significant castle along the coast of Northern Ireland. It began as an Iron Age fort, and later was an important rural site for an ancient Gaelic kingdom. The fort occupied a naturally defensible position, protected on 3 sides by steep cliffs dropping into the sea. According to tradition, St. Patrick visited the fort in the 5th century. According to tradition, he baptized a local man there. The fort continued to be significant, as it was attacked by Viking raiders in the 9th and 10th centuries. Despite these attacks, it remained an important stronghold for centuries. During the Middle Ages, the fort came under the control of various Irish clans. Then, in the turbulent 17th century, it was attacked and finally destroyed by Cromwellian troops. After that, it was never fully rebuilt. Today, only fragments of the gatehouse and masonry walls remain. This was a peaceful and beautiful location to walk around, and we highly recommend it. It's not surprising movies have been filmed here. We were surprised to witness one of the most beautiful wedding ceremonies in our lives. We both agreed it was an amazing idea to have a wedding in nature. Kim even said she envied the couple and wished we had had our wedding ceremony in the same way. We continued a short distance down the Causeway Coastal Route until we reached White Park Bay. White Park Bay has one of the most beautiful and unspoiled beaches in Northern Ireland. It's located on the north coast between Ballintoy and Dunseverick, along the Causeway Coastal Route. The beach sits on a 4.8 kilometer or 3-mile arc of golden white sand, with dunes, cliffs, and farmland all around. And it's very unspoiled, which means there are no facilities at this location. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time to go in the water or to enjoy it for very long, but it was a beautiful view. Originally, we considered doing the famous Carrick-a-Reed rope bridge, which is located right next to the Larrybane Quarry. However, aside from the £18 cost per person, the rope bridge was very busy on the day and the parking was full, as well as a lineup to get in. We didn't want to wait in a line trying to get across the rope bridges, so we instead went to the Larrybane Quarry and enjoyed some beautiful free sights. The quarry became more well known when it appeared in the TV series Game of Thrones. In Season 2, it became Renly Baratheon's camp, where viewers were introduced to Brienne of Tarth. The quarry's white cliffs and coastal scenery made it a perfect stand-in for the stormlands of Westeros. Larrybane was an active limestone quarry from the early 1900s until it closed around 1979. The limestone extracted here was used for producing lime and other industrial products. You can still see the remains of some of the industrial buildings, a lime kiln, and some of the quarry infrastructure. Our last stop on the day was a short trip to Fairhead, a beautiful walking trail along the northeast coast. The trail is located on private land. However, there's ample parking. There's also a spot to put in the £3 fee. From the parking lot, we made our way out up into the trails and enjoyed some berries along the way. For a private site, it does have good signage and it's easy to know which way to go. Up and over. Yeah, that's why the sign's there. Don't go the other way. And on we go. The geology here at Fairhead is very different from the Giant's Causeway. Instead of the thousands of small basalt columns, Fairhead has an immense wall of dark rock stretching for over 5 kilometers along the coast. The cliff edge at Fairhead rises about 200 meters or 643 feet above the sea, making it the highest sea cliff in Northern Ireland. This is the closest point between Ireland and Scotland, and on a clear day you can see much of Scotland across the way. It was getting later in the day, so we headed south towards Belfast. Although the Giant's Causeway is definitely the highlight of Northern Ireland's northern coast, don't underestimate some of the other highlights you'll see along the way. And we're now on our way to Belfast, the capital of Northern Ireland. In our next video, we'll be exploring Belfast, checking out the downtown area, as well as a number of exhibits dedicated to that famous ship, the Titanic.